Hi, mate, and hello, everybody at home, and welcome to Spiritual Talk.
Hiya, Paul. Good evening, everyone. And here we go again. It's Wednesday night. New guests
Wednesday
and
night.
everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we've got another great guest this evening to bring to everybody tonight.
Yeah.
And again, this gentleman is, again, no exception from the other interviews that we've had. And we've got such a great back catalogue now with some fantastic interviews, or interviewees, like Minister Colin Bates as well, Paul Ambilian, even the palmist Johnny Fincham as well. Very famous gentleman. I think they rate them palmists. I think he's number 2 in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how that works, but let's say hello to a few people coming on. Hi, Carol. Hi, Mike. Yeah, brilliant. Nice to see
Lou.
you.
Hi, Paul. And hi, Carol again. Hi, Sally. And hi, Sean. Lovely to see you all so far.
Great. It's great. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to share. We will be giving out free reading this evening. Okay. So spread the word, get us out there, start sharing, and we hopefully will get Stephen to pick a name towards the end of the show, the interview. So let's introduce our guest, mate, and get him in, shall we?
Let's bring him in, Stephen.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Steven Trolland. If you guys have been looking up on Facebook or YouTube, where we've kind of been promoting this all week, this gentleman has got a lot of depth and a lot of knowledge, and he's a well-respected within his field of where he works. He's also got an interesting backstory as well, which we'll get him in to explain. So, ladies and gentlemen, here, let me introduce you, Steven Trolland, who's also a psychic medium. So here we go, bring him in. Hi, Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Anthony. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
You're welcome. Lovely to have you this evening on Spiritual Talk.
And we're hoping your voice is going to hold out because you've not been too well lately, have you?
No, chest infections and those kind of things get in the way, but we're trying to do our best to battle through it, you know?
Yeah.
And you live in what is one of the most beautiful parts of the UK.
Yeah, well, to me, apart from the west coast of Scotland, the northwest coast, I do live in the beautiful Highlands of Scotland, just at the bottom of a ski resort, really.
Yes, Aviemore is beautiful. Yeah,
yeah.
I've had the pleasure of going up there. I would recommend it. It's such a beautiful country and it's a beautiful place, the Highlands.
Yeah.
But Stephen, we get our guests on. We want to kind of know your backstory first before we allow people to ask questions. We want to know how it started for you, because there'll be a lot of people at home that will have experiences or starting to open to spirit or receive or see things. And this really helps people kind of knowing what our story is and what mediums that are out there working, how we came into this field.
Yeah, no problem. Where do I start? I'll start by saying I didn't see or have imaginary friends when I was younger, when I was a kid. But going through life, there was experiences, but not realizing that they were true and real experiences until I fell into the world of psychic and mediumship. As then when I realized that things that happened in the past wasn't my imagination.
Okay.
And falling into this in some sense, you know, many people fall into this awareness. Some go through, like myself, through a real difficult time where we're forced within ourselves to look for a bigger and better reason to life rather than how it's presenting itself to them. And you also get those that are just so naturally sensitive and just want to find more understanding of what is actually happening to them as well. Yeah. So it was sadly through the passing of my beloved brother when I was during my competition days, and from there I didn't understand really. I tried, should I say, meditation, and I'm certainly not devaluing meditation as well, because there's so many different practices as well. And also there are so many people that have had incredible experiences with the spirit world as well through meditation. But it's what created the conditions for results to happen. But for me, meditation at the time, I used to go up to this beautiful place, again in the Highlands, and it was quite high up in I'd say a hill, not a massive mountain, up in a hill, but you had this most stunning view right through the valley, looking over the lochs, and there was other lochans as well, which is just lots of little lakes, you see. And I was listening to this meditation with my headphones on, with my eyes closed, just kind of trying to follow it and get into a space. But it just, to me, I found it difficult. And because I found it difficult, I know now that I created a lot of tension within my awareness, which really wasn't working for me. But then when I took out my headphones and just sat there, just kind of overlooking the beautiful views and so on, and just taking a deep breath, and then all of a sudden, just, the experience is so much more than the words that I'm saying here, where you just felt so a part of everything around me. And it's like the most perfect, the clouds were in the most perfect place. And the breath of wind as you look down upon the treetops was just making big waves going up the mountain. You could just follow it, just making all the patterns all over the tips of the trees. And I found there that that's when I started to realize that there was so much more to me rather than just being in my own head, if that makes sense, because that's what I felt. And I say, and again, I certainly don't devalue meditation, and certainly don't want to take away any incredible experiences what other people have had through meditation. But I just know that some people would resonate with it, where when I used to go to the development circles, for example, we used to try and go for a walk. This is me making this up. Going for a walk along, I don't know, the riverbank, and then you're going over the stile, and then you're going to pick a flower before you go up the mountain. And I'm too busy trying to figure out what flower to pick while everyone else was already up the mountain. They were way ahead of me. So I was getting myself in a right state in some sense, just thinking I just can't do it. I'm just not doing it right as well. But just through that times, I just used to just love walking in nature. And as you mentioned before, the beautiful area that we live, I've been so blessed with. When I was in my competition days and going through such a difficult time, certainly financially, because we needed thousands of pounds to be able to travel abroad, drive around Europe, go to all these races. There's so much to it. And all the problems in some way that came along with it, I just couldn't find my way out of them sometimes. So I either went for a run, which I don't do too much now, but I certainly go for a walk, and just walking alongside the beautiful rivers, and just like going for a walk and coming back from a run, for some reason, I always came back with an answer of some kind, not the full answer, but a stepping stone that would lead me on the journey as well. Yes.
Because some people at home might not know that you competed at the highest level for your country or for the UK in snowboarding. So to have, did you find that competitive programming clashed with that kind of spiritual aspect of yourself, or do you think that helped you to get to that point, to finding that inner self?
I think it actually helped me get to that point, because and I feel that I was listening to my soul in some sense. I was fulfilling my soul, because I found I just certainly wasn't a person just to, and again, I'm not devaluing this for anyone else, but
Yeah.
just to go, like, say, go and wash dishes, which I used to do from a job, go and wash dishes, come home, pay the bills, go wash dishes, come home, pay the bills.
Yeah.
There was something, I just knew there was something more to life than it. And I certainly really started to get to know myself, find myself a lot more when I was on my travels, especially when I was traveling by myself, because I got to love my own company then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of your family dynamics, when that started to, you know, come into a more spiritual aspect of yourself, obviously with the loss of your brother, how did they take that? Are you married, Stephen? Do you have children?
yeah, I'm married now, and I've got a beautiful little boy called Brody. He's 3 years old now, and just fills our hearts, as my wife does as well, of course. And my wife is a brilliant medium as well.
Oh, okay.
She's so natural. Sometimes I just watch her, and she actually gave her first demonstration in just under 4 years since Brody, you see, at the Inverness Spiritualist Church, and I was chairing, and just the feeling in the room that evening, everything was just so natural. And there wasn't any techniques needed, or you couldn't see her struggling. I don't know. It was just, when I looked at her, I thought, goodness gracious, if I could have that every single time that I was demonstrating, I'd be well half chuffed with myself. So really, I've got a really supportive wife in this journey as well.
That is amazing. So you live in one of the most beautiful parts of the UK. You have such a beautiful family. I'm starting to feel slightly jealous, Stephen. Got to be honest. But then, to be fair, you know, I have a beautiful family, and I'm in a beautiful place in Norfolk. And it's not just about where we are; it's about how we see our experience and how we
Absolutely.
appreciate and that gratitude that we create within ourselves. A friend of mine practices gratitude with her children, and it's an amazing to watch. And I think that's something that we should all try to encourage our children to have that gratitude. It certainly changes the vibration, the dynamics of them as a family. And it's beautiful to see.
Stephen, I've got a question for you, and it's so elegantly your story so far, what you've explained, but how's it now led you to where you are now? Where's the connection from all that opening up that you experienced to where you are now?
When I was going through that difficult time after my brother passed, I lost sight of everything. I didn't even want to even try find sponsorship even more, because it was, to me at the time, it was so hard. And a lot of people found, probably heard about my brother as well. But I just found that instead of me going out looking for sponsorship, sometimes people would just phone me and say, "We'd like to for you to use our boards this year," and then someone else saying, "Can we create this charity event for you to help you on your way?" So it was kind of helping me kind of get back on my feet again, and just through friends that have just quite eager to know more about being spiritual, or this everything spiritual. You know, at the time we were just kind of just look for it and just on the journey, you see. And I feel quite innocent at that time. And we ended up doing being invited to a little circle where a lady came from Inverness, and she did certain exercises and so on. And I wouldn't say that all the exercises, excuse me, I wouldn't say that all the exercises I was any good at them, but I would always leave feeling uplifted somehow. And I know now that because I was listening to my soul in some way and doing those exercises, we know that soul is the Greek name for psychic. So when we're trying to access all that sensitivity, you start to become at one with yourself a little bit more and find contentment. And I find through that, just by chance, if I could say that, I found the Inverness Spiritualist Church. I didn't even know what a spiritualist church was. All I heard is what they had mediums there, and so I went there, and I sat down, and there was this lady sitting next to me and saying, "Oh, you're new here," and I was saying yes. I just really want to know how this works. I'm just so interested in it. I just would want to understand it more. And then at the end of the service, she went up to speak to the chairperson where I got invited into the circle. And then the lady that was taking the circle at the time mentioned the Arthur Findlay College. So I booked onto the Arthur Findlay College, not even knowing how I was going to get the time off, not even knowing where the money was going to come from, or time off work, should I say, or where the money was going to come from or anything. But it just kind of all fell into place where I just ended up being able to go to the Arthur Findlay College. And it was all Tony Stockwell's course, Embrace the Spirit, at the time. It was a good few years ago now. And then from there, I just got even more thirst for it. And as you know, as mediums yourselves, that thirst will never stop, because we're just love it so much, and just the contentment, the richness that it brings, and just many courses at the college. Not all the time been able to afford it. I certainly can say that now. But at the time it was so priceless. I wouldn't change it for the world. And then just doing my certificates, and it was a platform accreditation to start with. And I am one of the most dyslexic people you probably speak to. And trying to do the written work, I was getting myself in such a state. But I have to say, the people that were helping, encouraging you through it, because in some way they're kind of guiding you to find it from within yourself. Because say when we read something, it's how it resonates with you that then you put onto paper in your own language, and just through I just followed that journey, and I haven't looked back. Still work a full-time job as well. So
okay, so you're working the balance between the both. Do you find it difficult, Stephen, in terms of your, because it's not easy, is it? Mediumship does take a lot out of you at times, especially the emotional side of it.
Yes, I certainly agree with that. Well, in the beginning, for those that may be listening from other countries or from places where they think that there's not much open to them, when I used to go to France to teach there after I stopped competing, I had nothing. So my eagerness, I just learned to sit and all the time, and still am learning my own art of surrender. And the more we surrender, the more we're able to embrace the world of the spirit and our own soul. So for those that because I don't believe it's all just about going to a circle. There's so many different energies within different circles, and that changes all the time, especially in open circles as well. And I feel if you're going to recognize the energy, more so is getting to know your own. And then from there, you're able to start to tell the differences. And it's not to look for it, but it's just to give it the time and the dedication it needs, because you deserve it. You deserve it.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the biggest mistakes people make in developing. They overlook their own what am I trying to say? Their self. We've got some great comments coming in, which I will put up. There's Ada from all the way over from, where is she? Croatia wants to say.
Oh wow!
Great teacher. But there's two sides to mediumship. There's your own personal journey, your development, and then there's the mechanism of mediumship as well, which is two separate things, really. And I guess a lot of people kind of neglect that self-development. They just go for the mechanics of it and just learn how to do it rather than develop their own spiritual awakening, their own healing.
And in the beginning, because I was so eager as well, to me, I was just wanting to be the medium because it fulfilled me so much, and seeing the magnificent mediums out there, to me, in some way, it looked like my goal in some way. Wow, if I was as good as that kind of thing, or if I was able to embrace the spirit world in that way. But and then I remember Mavis Patel, an incredible teacher, medium person, saying before, there is no destination, only the journey. And I found that the journey of it is really, because that's where it's through your own self-awareness is where you start to experience, and then through your experience becomes knowledge. With that as well, yes, we can find knowledge from other areas, and I found, I mean, like through books or going to listening to the teachers and so on, and sometimes they can add knowledge to experiences that you've already had, that you've been trying to figure out yourself. They can just bring it alive in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Got some good questions coming in now.
Yeah. Oh, great. Okay, mate. Where? Because I missed that. Sorry. I've been listening to you, Stephen, and not concentrating on what I've been doing. But I think there's also a problem sometimes as well when people go too much. Like I've met people at the college that book on for like 3 or 4 weeks, and they just keep going to different courses all the time. It's great if you can afford that. But if, like, personally, I've done a week, then I've had a couple of years, then I maybe go back for another week, and I think it's about embedding what you know and developing what you know and what you're learning. Does that make sense? For me, I think if you overwhelm yourself too much, it can be too much.
Yeah. I know myself as well, going from teacher to teacher in different areas, like the eagerness within me as well can certainly understand where you're coming from, for sure. But I found that for myself, for me, that really worked for me is mentorships, but finding the right person, because of the continuous unfoldment with that same tutor, because we get into difficulty, like I did as well, of like, this tutor says this thing and another one says something different, and that other the tutor doesn't agree with that, do it this way, that kind of things. And we kind of get ourselves in a little bit of a muddle. And really, another great tutor, incredible lady, a lady called Eileen Davis, really hit home with me. Hit home with me before, because I couldn't understand why these exercises weren't working. She says, it's what is natural to you, but also what is natural to you at that time.
Yeah.
And that can change as it evolves.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have questions coming in now.
Yeah, we got some great questions. A really good one from Carol. Thank you, Carol.
Thanks, Carol.
How do you know when you're spiritually rich enough to do readings?
Through practice, but I would say practice with should I say, like, a development circle. I mean, before, when I used to go to France and so on, I didn't have circles of that to go to. The world of Zoom and the world of the internet is so much more prominent now after COVID as well. And there's so many places where you can go, courses you can go on, where you have the freedom to explore, giving readings and doing different exercises to know if you're right, or was that my mind? I should say, was that my thoughts, or was that thoughts coming from the spirit world?
Yeah.
Really, it's trying to understand is when you're in the power, or when you start to come out the power, the presence of your own spirit, and where that sensitivity is. I think if we start to focus upon that, then what is natural within you will start to evolve and start to strengthen more so. And then you'll know from the wrongs from the rights, from different feelings from yourself, and even how the information comes across. The difference between what's psychic, what's mediumship. I mean, I've saw in the past where, and I'm certainly no disrespect to any mediums or this medium that did it this way. Just one of mine, I certainly won't say their name, but they'd say, your grandmother's in spirit, isn't she? And the person would say, yes, she is. And very well, their grandmother might be there saying, I'm her grandmother, that's my granddaughter over there. And then all of a sudden she go, but just look at you just now, you're just changing your job, and you're just thinking about moving house, and you've just been going through an emotional time, and it ends up all about that person. And therefore they've moved into the energy of the sitter, of the recipient, rather than listening to the spirit world. And I think there comes a great responsibility, certainly, absolutely, within doing readings, because you can really help someone live again, because sometimes it's us here that kind of forget to live because we're going through so much, lost in our own grief sometimes, or our own way of life sometimes, because life's not been so kind to us. But I find that, you know what, do you know when you get a wee thought and it just starts to drift away, and you can just feel it drifting away? I'm saying, come back here. I completely forgot what I was talking about there.
Oh, I have that all the time.
Sorry.
Since I had COVID, I've had a bit of call myself a space cadet sometimes. It's just like, long. I think it's long.
Oh yeah, the responsibility. That's what it was. Yeah, so I find certainly a good tutor, and learn the responsibilities of it, and because you can really upset somebody's life as well. You know, you mean, say for example, well, certainly how to be work with so much empathy and compassion. But let's look at it this way, just for example, say if there was a young lady that came for a reading, and she had chosen to not have a child at one point in their life. Then all of a sudden a medium will come across, say, oh, you've got a child in the spirit world, kind of thing. I mean, how's that going to make that person feel? You know, they might think, and did I not give that that little baby a chance to live in this life? I don't know. It could really upset a lot of just the responsibility is massive.
Yeah, even if you are a practicing medium, that responsibility never goes away. Every reading you do, I don't know about you guys, but I always feel that responsibility.
Always.
You know? I've got some more questions here. Marie has asked, how do you go about your own development on your own?
On my own. That's what I mentioned before. When I was finding it quite, as I say, we've got the world of the internet, we've got this here now. That's one thing to find knowledge from other mediums through their experiences as well. But developing on your own, I recommend, there's the practice called sitting in the power. But really what sitting in the power is sitting in the sensitivity of your own soul, where a place where you, God, or Great Spirit, however you want to look at that higher consciousness, it's a place where you and the spirit world meet within the soul of you. And I think another way to look at it is, it's another way of saying, sitting with God within my soul, you know. And I just when I mentioned before about the atmosphere around me changing, and I felt completely at one with everything around me. And again, what the experience is so much more than the words. I wouldn't have experienced that if I wasn't in touch with that higher consciousness of life. And I feel that that's the key that helps awaken everything spiritual that you are supposed to unfold, develop, and through that you will find what will work is natural to you at that time as well. That's why I feel, just sit in the power every morning. I get up and I sit and thank God for this, thank goodness for this background here, because I'm actually in my little cupboard under the stairs. So as I come and sit in this little cupboard for around about an hour nearly every day, as much as I can. And I find that's where the most inspiration comes from as well. So I would say if you're starting to unfold, just learning to concentrate upon your breath, and knowing that it's okay for thoughts to come and go out of your mind. Because I wouldn't say you can completely stop your all those thoughts from happening, because we're living a physical material life.
Yeah.
But then what you could become then as the silent observer of your thoughts, and therefore it's like you're kind of sitting behind them. And I would say that's where people talk of the silence, and it's there when your thoughts might not be so loud, therefore you can listen to the whispers of the spirit world.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good analogy, actually. The whispers. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, I like that.
Just changing the vibration slightly. Lovely Zoe team. She's asked, "What's been your favourite part of doing mediumship?"
That is that's such a hard question, because I would say all of it, even the hard parts, because that's a part of what makes you the medium that you are, the person that you are. I'd say my favorite part of unfolding mediumship is getting to know who I really am.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, Ada's put on here, it helped that a lot of teaching started to happen online, so we could further to develop and see what's out there. It really has. And in some ways, COVID has brought a lot of us, the community, the spiritual community, together. There's been a lot more on offer now, rather than just people giving the old reading, tarot card reading. There's a lot more information starting to pop up, which is fantastic. Would you agree with that, Stephen?
Absolutely.
You've got some stuff online as well, haven't you, on YouTube? I think you've got a few things.
Yeah, I'm going to be starting my own stuff more as well. I've done a few. I've been working on SNUI also, and things are opening up a little bit more, but also moving more into like the autumn time, November-ish. I'm going to be moving into it a little bit more then, because my full-time job that I have now, which is self-employed cutting grass, is that'll start to fall to the wayside for the winter. You see, and being self-employed, you mentioned as you before, try to find the balance of it. That is the whole reason why I'm self-employed, because then I can kind of take on what I can take on, so I can leave room for this.
You got more, it gives you more freedom, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for that, Ada. And we go down here. I think this is Cheryl, if I remember rightly. This question, Cheryl. How do you know when you are in the power or not? Is it you can feel a spirit blend with you, or no information coming through when you're not in the power?
I would say is to try not look for information, and I would say through your own learning is when you become to know, through your own experience of the feelings that you will have. But when we talk about power, let me talk about different circles. Just for example, say for a an open circle. There's people that come and go all the time, so the energy kind of changes all the time.
Yeah.
What we're looking for is something that will give strength to an experience. I always say to sit for the altered states, but not for the purpose of going into trance to speak in trance or for physical or any kind of phenomena, just for the power and the blending. And when you see, when we look at the altered states, if you get people sitting for you, they provide power for you. So the power is really intensified around the medium who's sitting at that time. So when the spirit world come close, everything's a little bit more intensified. The whole experience is more intensified. So looking at the closed circle, I would always recommend that in a closed circle, because then the energy isn't changing all the time and you can all grow together. And just because, say, for example, if you're the one that's not the medium sitting at the time, those people that are sitting for you are still unfolding. They're still part of it. Everything's connected there. So I would say to get a few friends together. People, I'd say they say quantity provides more power, which is correct in a way. But I would say it's not all about quantity, but quality. And you would know about the friends that maybe you have, if you've started to walk the spiritual journey already, that those you can naturally connect to and just make evenings together. It doesn't have to be many people, 2 people, just even you and someone else, youth, 2 people, and just give time for those in the spirit world to get to know you. You see, I was contemplating this before, good few years ago now, because I heard quite a lot of people say, get to know your guides. And it's certainly not wrong, absolutely not wrong. But within my awareness, I was contemplating this when I was sitting, you see, and it's just like a quiet contemplation for me at times. And just sitting in that space, I felt one of my friends, people call them guides, I call them friends, came close and he said, it's not about you getting to know us. It's about you sitting with reverence and allowing us to get to know you, but within the power, within the blending. And as we get to know you, you will become to know us. So then you're just looking for, it does take patience. That's the hard thing. And it does allowing it to evolve in its own natural way. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a great question here. Mary's made an observation. Thank you, Mary. I find it very striking. I am pleased to hear that virtually all your guests, week after week, speak about the responsibility of what they provide for individuals during readings.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary. Yeah, I think that's really
Absolutely.
important.
Thank you.
Serena Galvin. Hello, Serena.
Hi, Serena.
And have you ever found it difficult separating your own emotions during a reading?
Again, it comes to knowing when you're in the power, because when you're in the power, the soul doesn't lie, really. So let me read that again. Find it separating your emotions, because the mediumship works through your life experience as well. I wouldn't say it's all in that, but it works through your life experience. So say, for example, I used to do the garden for my grandmother. So if someone in the spirit world, a grandmother, was wanting to come close to speak to a granddaughter or a grandson and say, thank you for doing my garden, and then that's something that should, in some way become more easily to me, and be able to, go into more detail with that. Now, I'm the most dyslexic person alive. My wife will probably kick me for saying that, but she's good at giving me a right good knock when I'm knocking myself. But say if I had an accountant wanting to come speak to someone for talk about their finances or something like that, and then I don't think I would be the best person, you see. But again, and that's another another part of the beauty of the forever unfolding journey. Every single person in this world is unique. There's no one else in this world that is you. And I say that's just a small part of what makes you beautiful. So think about all the different walks of life, all the different way that people think, and so on. It's we're always trying to look beyond the framework of our own thinking as a medium. So looking back at that question there, I completely forgot what it was. What was it?
The
What is it again?
Stephen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
separating
Oh
the
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Again, it's about knowing when you're in the power or when you're out the power. As well, and it's okay for self-doubt to come in now and again as well, and it's in the beginning it might become about the yeses. Do you understand that? Yes. Do you understand that? Yes. And that makes us feel good, makes us know we're going in the right direction, makes us feel we're doing a good enough job. But when they say no, sometimes it's just things they have no knowledge of. And I'd say, again, it's just knowing when you're in the power and when you're not in the power. That's when, you see, you as a medium are unique. You have a beautiful soul, as everyone has. The spirit world will want to use what you have within you. You see, if you've just gone through such a difficult time, it's absolutely incredible how the spirit world can, or to say people just walk into your path for the right reasons at the right time. If you're going through a difficult time, then someone comes for a reading, for example, that you've just maybe in the middle of or going through. Think of how much you'd be able to connect with that person in front of you, to really touch their heart, touch their soul. I mean, I would say, don't knock your own emotions. They're very much a part of you. Don't try and knock them to the side. Just allow them to be as they are, and just concentrate on being in the power.
Yeah. Elaine Thorpe has just said, what a kind soul you are. But it doesn't come up on there for some reason. She's coming in for a different group. But hi, Elaine. Lovely for you to join us tonight. We've got a few more messages here. Okay. I think Carol asked a question. I'm just trying to find. Carol asked a question about sitting in the power. Where is it? I don't know why. It's just disappeared, Carol. I don't know is it here? Here we go. Thank you. I sit in the power or meditate for different needs like stronger contact, healing, and clearing for opening the third eye. Should I just concentrate on one thing?
Sit in the power, meditate. I would say it's only my opinion, as just to say sit in the power, because the power. I mean, there's this saying that I've heard many say, that heal the soul. I don't believe it's us that heals the soul. It's the soul that heals the mind. It's the soul that heals us, because we're in touch with that part of you that's so pure. As I mentioned before, that part of you won't lie. Once you only my thoughts, but just concentrate on that. Don't give yourself such a big job to try and separate things in so much a way, because when we talk about clearing, for example, as I mentioned, the soul heals the mind, and mediumship, psychic awareness, healing, because we those that are doing healing, that are healing mediums, and that's what I would say to that.
Yeah. Thank you. Also, Serena said thank you as well to her.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Okay. Guys, some of you are saying I can hear bird noises or tweeting. I've got a professional microphone here, and I've got the window open. So, and I built like a nature pond in the back in the garden next to the cabin here, and I'm getting a lot of birds. So I'm sorry if you're getting tweets in your microphones. Okay, so I do apologize. Okay, Sharon's asked a question. Hi, Sharon. Does messages come through to you in your dreams? I have these sometimes.
Well, if you have them and then keep them as your experience, I wouldn't say it happens to everyone. I mean, I don't think it's happened to me. Well, not that I can remember, because we have those dreams, and then sometimes once you wake up, you wonder what that dream was about. There has been a couple of times when I felt my beloved brother close, but it was just the feeling of them being there and the presence of just sharing a space. I remember really one before in the beginning of when and seriously the beginning of my development, unfoldment, understanding of this is in my dream it felt as if he was really there, but I feel that he was there. My soul was listening to him, which was touching the awareness in my dream, but there was also the conscious mind saying, but he's not here anymore, he's passed away. So I felt at that time there was that little bit of conflict.
Yeah.
But I know now that he was there, you see. So I wouldn't say it come through all the time. We know, if you think of when a medium's working, for example, or psychic, they're in a place of focus. And because we're in a place of focus, it kind of takes our awareness away from all those everyday thoughts and so on. It's kind of like being in a daydream at times, to me, is the way that I can explain it. And we know within a dream or a daydream, we can feel things and just it's where inspiration comes from, in my view. And we can experience emotions and so much more, like you're actually really there. So absolutely, they can happen in your dream.
Yeah. Got another question here from B Rowan MB. What do you see as the differences between energies and entities, please?
Oh, that's
big question.
And I think that depends on the medium as well, and how they
Yeah.
would describe what they're seeing and thinking and feeling.
I think there depends how we refer to what is an entity and what is an energy and so on.
Yeah.
To me, I just feel being aware of energy would be the way to look at it. That's just my view.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about entity, if we're referring to the spirit world, I prefer to talk about them as people. And yes, we do get ghosts as well, which is we know as a memory of an event that's usually an emotional event that's happened there within a space. We can maybe refer to that as an entity, but it still has a name as a ghost as well. So it's quite a difficult question to answer without. I mean, I've never known what an entity is. I've never really put my focus towards it. I'd focus upon what energy is, and energy doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Because we are energy.
Yeah. Okay. We have another question here. Thank you for that. Another question here from Rhonda. Have you ever had to give a message from the spirit world that you felt uncomfortable giving?
I've given many messages. The ones that I feel, yes, it's when, and I wouldn't say one specific one, but it's someone in front of you trying for you to say a specific thing that that would fit within their perception of maybe what the spirit world is, or something like that, to try and make it something that it's not, or to try and make it something that is not natural, and how it works uniquely through you as a medium. That I find it's just over practice and time, we find our way to learn how to deal with that, and just maybe simply saying, like for example, it was the other day, I've got say it was a lady here. I know her name, or I felt the name of Barbara came close, and there was loads of other bits. And says, would you understand that to be your mum? And she went, yes, I'd understand that to be my mum. But has she got black hair? And I'm like, I don't know, if you don't know your mum, if you understand that's really your mum, why would you want to know has she got black hair? Or for example, all those that great information and evidence you can get to say this is your mum that's here, and then they say, what's her name? And I'm like, I don't know what her name is. I mean, if you don't know what her name is, you're in trouble, you know. But it's just, I think it's when someone tries to make it unnatural to you, and learning how to, should I say, bring understanding to the person that's come for a reading, because the people that come, many of them have no understanding or knowledge of this, and maybe come with preconceived ideas, and it's trying not to fit within the preconceived ideas. Try not let them take the power out of your hands, because therefore, in my experience, I've done that and it fell flat. It doesn't work. You've got to go what's natural with you.
And Lee's just made a good point. Hi, Lee. They always want a bit of evidence that they think they need, so they kind of want more, don't they? Sometimes, you know, you can give them some great evidence like that. Like, I've got Barbara here. I know she's your mum. She's telling me she's your mum. She's making me feel. And then suddenly they go, well, what is she wearing? So, well, what else can you do? You know, especially and depending on how you receive that message as well. Elena's asked, do you do trance at all, Stephen? Are you more mental mediumship?
Well, trance is mental mediumship, but it depends. No, I sit for the spirit world. They have spoken through me. Should I say, I've surrendered enough that they were able to speak. Sometimes it's been strong. Sometimes it's where my mind has come in and interrupted lots, and quite a lot depends on the power that's there at the time. You know, is the power strong enough? Who's sitting for you, that's providing the power? I mean, when we look at the strength and the power, that's what we need, that will move you into a space. So do I do trance? I wouldn't say I sit particularly for trance, but they have spoken. They have spoken, and depends what they. You see, so it's try not to get them to fit within the framework of our thinking. You see, sometimes we look at it, and certainly, absolutely no disrespect for that question, but when we have trance, we've got physical, we've got again, as you mentioned, mental mediumships, maybe through private readings platform, and look at the history within the spiritual movement. Say, like for the Bang Sisters, for example, that was physical, and there's so many unique types of mediumship and how it works through them. And for me, that's what I'm saying. I try and I'm doing my best not to allow it to fit within a place where I try and direct it to go, but it's just to allow it to unfold in its own natural way. Yes, I do go into courses to explore the world of trance and the world of physical and the world of standing up and platform and so on. Certainly, because exploring it does open your awareness up, but I just say, just don't lose sight of what do the spirit world want. What do the spirit world want? How would they want to work with you? And when we're really got the strength, and listening to them, they'll move you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And maybe even just kind of tell you how they want the circle to work, for example, as well, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So also Carol has asked, before you read for someone, do you sit in the power or have a ritual you follow? That's a great question, because so many mediums have different ways of working.
Personally, I always sit in the power. Personally, it depends, as I say, what works for you. Sometimes we don't always get the luxury of it. Say, for example, if you're just about to get on platform, stuck in a traffic jam, you just walk through the doors. But it does work. The spirit world will pull everything out of the bag for you. But certainly for me, I just want to know for myself that I'm doing the best that I can for them. And maybe it's my need, but I feel sitting in the power allows those everyday thoughts just to slowly settle. And then I start to feel the presence of the spirit world here. And then I say, okay, I'm here to work for you now. So I sometimes listen to a certain song or certain music that can help empower that as well, because the music allows your thoughts to drift. It stimulates emotions away from, oh my goodness, did I have to do that last garden, and try and fit that time in, and you know, it's just kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next for you, Steven? What's coming up? What are you doing? What sort of projects have you got?
Well, I was speaking to Anthony when you were away, watching YouTube and doing your tie.
I'd get my tea. Yeah, this is a wing
your
knot,
tea.
by the way. I don't know how to do one. It's a wing knot. It took me about 10 minutes, but I got there.
I've created a. It's not out yet. It's like a video voiceover. It was through the a mentorship, advanced mentorship with Mavis Patilla.
Okay.
Now, the exercise was to go away and write about the spirit within, which we did. Then we get stand up, and you know, when you read about it, it brings it alive within you as well. When you're like allowing everyone else to hear it. But it has changed over time. The more my knowledge has grown, and how it works with me as well. And then there was another one. I was on with Tony Stockwell. It was for teaching as well. And this was a good few years ago now. And he loves it was Dr. Angelo. Oh, terrible for names. I said it earlier on. Angela Mile. I'm doing it no justice, but anyway, this lady is an absolute inspiration. Talks about being the rainbow in someone else's life, kind of thing, and just how she brings that inspiration around to bring it to something beautiful and so true. And he gave us the exercise of going away and kind of creating some kind of video, something like that. So what I've done is I've created a voiceover video where it's kind of about the spirit within, where I'm reading the spirit within, or should I say expressing the spirit within. And there's a video that works, that kind of unfolds alongside it to help give it life, which will be out soon. I'm in the middle of recording my own downloadable tracks as well to help people on their journey to, you see. So I'm going to be working on that through my gardens and having a busy life with the family as well, you see, and then also fitting other spiritual work in. But we'll get there in the end. And I just love this. You see, speaking to you guys and those questions that have come through, it kind of brings it so much alive within me. And you get so many people that, and myself included, where we kind of just lose that little spark of, I don't know, like you wonder, where is it going? Like the knowledge that you have gained along your pathway, it kind of falls to the background. And that's only because we can't fit all that within one thought, within that minute in time. And you guys have given me the opportunity, and everyone here, to express some of that with the questions that have been asked. And it's certainly fulfilled me, but it brought it alive within me. And just doing, I'm going to be doing more demonstrations. I do some online as well. And in person, and there's things starting to unfold a bit more, but I would say moving more into the end of the summer, things are going to start to be moving a lot more with my spiritual work. Then once my gardens start to cut down, so
yeah.
Oh, thank you, Carol. That's really nice of you.
Yeah. And another Carol Turner, he says you have got a really calming voice as well, Steve.
Thank you.
Carol, you might not know, Stephen's struggling with his voice tonight. He's got a bit of a chest thing going on.
Yeah, well, I've had quite a fair time of it going through, because I've got asthma and that as well. So chest infections have come and gone. And I'm kind of left with this now it just takes a wee while to. So, but I really thank you for that comment. Maybe I should just go ahead with my recording tomorrow now with my downloadable tracks. Maybe that's better.
Do you do guided meditation, Stephen, as well? For your voice?
Yes. Every now and again. They're not regular dates. They're like a date, maybe a Thursday. Sometimes it might be like 2 weeks' time on a Tuesday, where people can come into it for free. It's on my website as well. It's called Into the Beauty and the Presence of You, a place where the spirit world meet. And it's not preconceived. I don't have anything preconceived, you see. Everyone brings their richness, the richness of their spirit, their soul to the room. And maybe in the beginning I'll be saying, okay, take your awareness to your breath. But what unfolds after that is inspirational. So therefore I'm kind of listening to the spirit and the soul of everyone there, and I'm doing my best to give it words that will lead them into a space, give them experience. So that'll be there.
Guys, if you let us know you've shared, just put shared in the comments. We'll get Stephen to pick one of you lovely people for a reading. All you need to do is write shared, and then we will ask Stephen to do that for you.
Your turn this week, Paul, isn't it?
It is. It certainly is. Shared. Carol's shared. That's one. She's the first one.
Well, Marie as well.
Marie, Claire. We've got Carol Turner's shared again. Yeah, Montana I believe you're on the west coast of Virginia. Mary's shared. Leah's shared.
Ada,
Maybe I should have shared it myself, eh?
Yeah.
Get a reading.
Keep sharing.
Julie Snowden, Zoe. Luke Kirk has shared. Keep going, guys.
Keep going.
Ada has shared. She's also put thank you, all three.
And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be lovely to subscribe. Because guys, we've got so many wonderful mediums that have shared their experience, and Stephen now goes into our Hall of Fame as well. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, Montana as well. Did you want to pick from one of those names, Stephen?
I will just have a little scroll and see where I'm inspired to. I would say Ada.
Well, congratulations, Ada.
She's the first person that came to my awareness there as I was scrolling through.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Ada, you have a 1 of 3 reading, so congratulations. Don't worry if you missed it this week. You can come back next week, and you've got a chance to win a free reading. So, and we're now going to do messages, Stephen. So we want to thank you very much for coming on. We really appreciate it. We really do. It's time to say goodnight, and we can't thank you enough for coming on.
Thanks ever so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care.
You're so welcome. Take care. Take care.
Bye. 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 Mate, what a great interview.
Oh, It's such a nice chap, and yeah, his voice is very calming.
It is very calming. Yeah, meditation videos, any kind of thing like that. Stephen will be really good at that as well. So the inspiration, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. We're now going to
check out his website as well. Very inspired.
Yes, I have been putting it in the banners all night. So if you look back on the comments, that'll come up. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to paste in the link. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I'm trying to paste in the link for stream. Do you want to go first, mate, while I try to paste the link in?
Right. Okay. Is that for the studio, Paul? Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, if you understand the message that we're bringing, obviously, talk to us through comments. If you want to come in, click the link that we're now sharing. Now we're going through on to Paul Bannister Medium, Anthony Doveton Medium Facebook page. We're going into both Anthony's YouTube and my YouTube, which is Spiritual Talk. So, yeah, mate, for some reason yours hasn't come up because we've been having all sorts of problems with Facebook. We do apologize. I'm going to try and share it again.
My personal one, won't it? That's
yeah, and for some reason it's not having it, mate. It's not putting it in there. So we love Facebook, really. We do. We do. So we'll put it in again. So it's on YouTube or the or Paul Bannister Medium. If you
probably
want
best to come through on the YouTube one.
Yeah. However way, it doesn't really matter how. Just click on the ducks and come on in. That'd be absolutely brilliant. We love to hear your voice. It makes a better connection to the spirit world for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So apologies for that, guys. Okay.
Okay.
Mate, when you're ready, I'll do the messages for you. And if somebody, keep those messages coming, guys. If you don't want to come on, you don't have to have your camera on. It'd be just lovely to hear your voice.
And just say if you don't want to come on, just say you'd rather not as well.
You might not even want the message. So
okay. Right. Okay. Right, everyone, keep your ears and eyes open, I should say. Okay. First things first, I've got a gentleman. Someone's coming in the studio.
Yeah, we got someone in the background, so we'll just wait and see if it is for that person. Okay. It's great that you've come on, by the way, so it could be for that person. So this would be interesting.
Right, that will be interesting. That's a first. Anyway, I've got a gentleman's make himself aware to my awareness, and can you hear me? All right.
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, cool. Right. I'm having a bit of feedback here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Don't know why. Okay. That will pass. These things normally pass. It could even be spirit interference.
Yes, summer breeze. You can say
echo. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I've got a gentleman who's made himself aware to me, a very slim gentleman, and as he comes in, this is not because he's genuinely slim. I do feel that he was very unwell. This feels like some kind of illness or like disease or some kind of description, because I feel like I'm wasting away, if that makes any sense. I don't feel I've got hardly any muscle mass or body fat or anything on me. And as he comes in, I do feel that this man is quite a gentle soul and just a gentle man, to be honest, as clear as that. I can't say anything more about this man in that respect, because he is just, it says what he says on the tin, basically. As he does come in, I am made aware of the number 2. Now, I do feel this is more towards the children of that's related to him. He's talking about the 2 children. And I do believe this has got a connection in respect to a person who is listening on here tonight and who has been enjoying the show as well. And as he comes in, I do feel this man has got a large mind. Now, whether he's got a scientific mind or whether he's just open to a spiritual kind of understanding, then this man is making me aware that there's infinite possibilities. I feel like there's a connection or an understanding to the space or astrology as he's coming in, because he's showing me planetary stuff as it's coming into my mind, into my mind's eye. And I'm really being aware of like the solar system. This is really interesting in a reading, how they're presenting this to me in my mind. As he comes in, I do feel there's a connection with a lady that's specifically known as the daughter. In that respect, okay, there's a big yes on the screen. Ada, okay.
Summer, no, switch to YouTube. Summer Breeze, do you understand this? She's put yes.
There's a lot of
twice.
yeses on there.
There's a lot of S's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, if that's yes to most of that, then that's great. If you can take only some of that, then yeah, just give us a comment on screen. That's great. Yes, I do feel this is some kind of. I do feel it's some kind of disease or illness. It feels like some kind of cancer condition of that, some kind of description. Yes, you understand it all. Would you mind coming into the studio for us as well? If you don't want to, that's totally fine. Just state that on screen for us, if that's okay.
Or just come in without your camera.
Yep. Illness, yes, yes, okay, fine. Can you understand? It does feel like a cancer condition, but as the feeling comes over me, it just feels like I'm wasting away. I don't feel. Okay.
She doesn't like live chat.
Okay.
Can you come in without the camera on? Then Summer would love you to come on without having to see. You might, maybe you're in your colours. We don't know. We have actually had a young lady come on that was in the bath once.
Yeah, rollers in too.
We are used to all sorts. Believe me.
Okay, you're saying correct. And if that's correct, all of it, fair enough. Just do help us because we're only seeing one.
It just helps us to bring the connection in, mate, doesn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely, it does help. It helps me more too. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. I do feel I'm seeing this I can. What?
I can't. I can. What do I do? I don't. What do I hit? So look for the duck. Press on the duck. I've just put it up again into. Yeah, I don't think she's on the right page though. She might have to come in for a different page or YouTube.
Yeah.
So look at Spiritual Talk Live on YouTube or Anthony Duffton Medium on YouTube or Paul Bannister Medium on Facebook.
Okay.
We're limited for some reason tonight. I'm so sorry.
I do feel I'm with a lady tonight who's talking to, but I do feel that he wants to mention about the smoking as well. He's put, I can smell cigarette smoke. It's definitely not a pipe. It's not a cigar. It's definitely cigarette smoke. And he's making me aware of a smoking condition as well. So whether this is you that's smoking, whoever can take this gentleman, then that's absolutely fine. But he's making me aware of the cigarettes as well. I can smell and I can also see tobacco stains around a living environment, a living room. So whether this house has been left after his passing, it does make me feel I'm also getting the smell of new paint as well. Whether this is to do with decorating or needing decorating of a house or a certain room of a house to be done as well. And he's also making me aware of a brother as well. He's mentioning a brother as well, whether this is his or yourself. That's in that respect. So he also making me aware of a gentleman that's considered as brother who's wearing glasses as well, and it comes in with dark frames as well. And he's making me aware of a sort of real close bond with this gentleman known as the brother as well. And it's interesting as he's referring to him because it feels like it's not just a brother, it's a best friend as well. And he's put reading material in front of me as well. So it looks like I'm going to the library, that kind of information. It's not novels, it's like information, like and it's very, very small, fine print, but thick books with loads of writing in as well. So lots of education this gentleman's coming in with as well.
Are you still with us, Summer? Because she all of a sudden stops. Whether she's trying to get in, I don't know.
I do feel I'm with you, Summer, because no one else can take this. So no one else is saying. Oh my God, he is mentioning my brother.
Yeah, it's my brother.
Right, that's fine. It's your brother, okay, and you could understand your brother with the glasses and being considered as a best friend as well as a brother as well. My brother is his best friend. Fine, there you go. That's what he's on about. It's as clear as day in that respect. I do feel I'm with you, Summer. I don't feel I'm with anyone else on this one. So sorry, Serena and Bethany, I believe that is. I do feel I'm with more to do with Summer. I do feel that the brother and the glasses and the connection in that respect. Can you understand the smoking? Because I can't get away from. I feel like I'm chain smoking. This is not just one every now and then. I do feel it's quite a lot. I'm getting through, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe even more that cigarettes a day. And I am going back in time here as well. I feel like yeah, that's absolutely fine, because he's showing me the brother, and he's coming in with a secondary gentleman as well, but it's like a best friend as well. Yeah, going with the smoking. And also I do feel there's an old jumper. He's showing me an old jumper, this man, this very thin man in spirit, very nice gentleman, but he's making me aware. Oh my God, brilliant, lovely, that's lovely. He's absolutely fine. He's not in pain anymore. I do feel that his suffering went on a very long time. And I do feel there's lots of help that was required in keeping him comfortable, but he did know deep down that he wasn't gonna get better, to be honest. I know the smoke references, brilliant, that's fine. He's given me the smoke references, so if you understand that, that's absolutely fine. He's also showing me balloons now, this man, so making me aware of either a connection to do with birthdays or a connection to do with a celebration. You understand the jumper, that's brilliant. And you would understand the jumper being patterned, because it feels like it's very patterned, this jumper. I don't know if there's zigzags or different colored browns and creams or that kind of respect, and it feels like more like a V-neck or U-neck as well. And it's just referring to his favorite jumper sitting on the settee in his lounge environment. And he does, like, it seems like he's okay in his own space, but I do feel 30 days in the hospital, yeah, it went on for a long time, absolutely. But I do feel this man is a deep thinker. Whether he is lonely or not, he gives me a bit of a poker face. So I don't really get an impression whether he is a lonely man or not. But he does make me aware that he spent long periods of time in his own headspace as well. So whether I feel he was doing his own meditation at the end of the day as well. He is making me aware of tomatoes as well. I can smell whether this man was into his gardening or something like that, because I can smell like I'm touching like greenery in the gardens. I can smell plant smell on my fingers. So whether that he's like growing his own thing. Yes, I knitted for him. Brilliant. So you can take the jumper, because it's quite specific, this jumper as well. Yeah, and I feel green fingered as well. It's funny that Stephen was mentioning cutting grass, because I can see this man cutting grass with a lawnmower and things like that as well. And also putting manure. And sorry, yes, I correct myself. Someone's putting manure on flower beds, he's saying. He's showing me fertilizer and manure on We Always Eat Tomatoes as well. Can you understand him growing tomatoes and also having a greenhouse that would have grown tomato plants in as well? And he's also making me aware of the either slug or snail pellets as well that he's putting around the base of them, because he's saying, I don't like the slugs or the snails as well. A lovely man, very a gentle soul, but has got a nice little humor going on there underneath his gentle calmness as well. Absolutely. No to the grass. My husband, I don't understand that.
Probably greenhouse. My hubby earth plan gardens.
Okay, that's fine. I can only give what I get, but it's definitely grass, and I can smell it, and it's to do with green. It's to do with something gardening as well. He's also showing me an allotment now, and lettuce and runner beans and all the kind of veg as well. And he's showing me that as well. And can you understand the carrier bags as well? He's saying you've been shopping, bringing carrier bags of stuff home or something. He's showing me 2 carrier bags, one in each hand as well. And this is not to do with him, this is to do with you. So whether you've been shopping and bringing different things. Our world now, correct. Good. Yes, absolutely. Okay. I'm going to leave this loving man with you, Summer, and lots of information there in respect to his essence and him as the gentleman that he was. I do feel oh, you're a shopaholic. Okay, that's absolutely fine, and it's lovely, isn't it? Like, they know what we're thinking, they know what we're feeling, and he is making me aware that by the way, for you, Summer, that everything will be fine. He knows that you've got a lot on your mind at the moment and that you're worrying, but he just to let you know everything will be fine. But just be patient. You know what that means. Love and bless with you.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Well done. That was awesome. Okay, I'm going to connect in as well. I have got someone waiting in the background, but I don't know who I've got coming in with me. So I'm just going to wait. I've got a gentleman that connects with me. I know. Yeah, beautiful reading. It was. Can you take over the controls, mate? Is that all right?
No worries.
Thank you.
Thanks,
okay.
Carol.
I just saw a white orb just fly over my head. Did anyone else see that? So we get a lot of that. We had this on screen before, didn't we, Anthony?
Yeah.
We came off screen one night, wasn't it? There was this white light in front of my forehead.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Lots of activity, isn't there?
Yeah. Summer's just put up.
He was autistic. Non-verbal. So he spoke clearly to you. He sure did. You made my year. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We're only halfway through the year, mate, and you've made a year already.
Wow.
That's brilliant. What can you say?
Thank you for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Summer. Okay, brilliant. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I've got a gentleman, but I know I've got two here. I've got a gentleman and a lady. I'm not sure if they're connected yet. I've got the two. Again, I keep getting couples come in, but I'm not sure there were a couple when they passed into spirit. I know the gentleman, he would, again, similar to you, Anthony, he would have lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
He would have had issues later in his life with his knees as well. He's making me aware of his knees. He's making a joke about his knobbly knees. But again, I know he would have lost weight. I know there's a cancer condition with this gentleman. I also know he would have smoked as well, similar to you. I know his dad as well, because he's making me aware that he is dad. Also, as he comes in, I keep hearing different names. Also, I know there would have been an interest in cars. I know he liked cars. I know this. I'm not sure if it's mechanics and cars, but there was an interest in cars and mechanics. Also, with this gentleman, there's a lady that comes in alongside him. I believe it's his mother as well. I believe his mother was in spirit as well, very close to his mother. Also, there's talk about food. He's talking about his food being quite precise with his food, growing his own vegetables, but okay, and everything being orderly in his life towards the end. He's also making me aware that he looked after himself well. Again, I've just seen another white orb flying over my head. So let us know, guys, if you're seeing things in the cabin. Okay. Thank you. Also, he's trying to give me, it sounds like Marion or Miriam, the name as well, that he's trying to connect me to. Also, no, okay, strong voice on the gentleman as well. Very strong, okay, thank you. I know he would have been stronger personality. He would have been quite an intelligent man. Okay, something's just touched the back of my head. I'm really getting interference in here. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I've got a message here. You recognize? Okay. I've got a gentleman in the background. Do you recognize this information, Mike? There's also a classic car theme. He keeps giving me the classic car theme as well. I'm going to bring you in, actually. If not, I'm going to let you go, because bless you. You've been sitting in the background waiting to come in. Okay. I know what it's doing.
Yes,
we
Mike.
can hear you perfectly. Yeah. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. He keeps talking about classic cars and also having like what do you call it? Mechanics books, like the Haynes manuals. Do you remember the Haynes manuals? Having Haynes manuals for the car. He would have tinkered with the car quite a lot. Also, no, he was very traditional in his food. He keeps talking about his food. He wouldn't have eaten foreign food at all. It would have been very plain. Meat and 2 veg, and he was very traditional. Again, a very classic man of his day. Okay, this initial M is trying to give me that connects to him. The lady that connects in his life, the initial M is trying to give me. I also know it's a Marion or Mary as well. He's trying to give me. Again, I know he would have got his hands dirty as well. Again, it comes back to the mechanics and tinkering with cars.
I know a Marion. but she's well, as far as I know, she's still on the Earth plane.
Okay.
And her partner was someone who tinkered with cars, but I assumed he was still on the Earth plane.
Oh gosh, I don't want to put them
I've
over.
not heard from them because they were my ex-wife's sister and her partner, and they moved to Spain, and we don't hear from them. So
gosh,
I don't know.
Well, there's a real sense.
Sorry.
So I was going to say, Karen, there's a real sense of him. If they're in Spain, if they move to Spain, fine. But this gentleman, if he'd gone out to Spain, he still would have eaten meat with 2 veg. Would you understand that? He wouldn't have eaten the local cuisine. He's not that kind of gentleman. And the more I feel into this, I don't feel that at all, Mike. I've got to be honest with you. I don't think I'm with you.
No. So that's the only connection I can think of. But I didn't know him that well anyway. So
yeah.
That's okay. Well, thanks, Mike, for coming on. We really appreciate it. It is really easy to join in, isn't it?
Yeah, I like this.
Awesome.
Keep listening, though, Mike. Keep listening.
I'm just going to drop you out there, Mike. I'm going to carry on with this. Thank you. I also know with this gentleman, there's a naval connection with him and certainly a military connection because he's showing me a military connection here. I'm seeing, a naval connection because I'm seeing like a plaque with a name of a ship on it as well. Also, and I know this gentleman served, like I say, on the water. I can see the plaque he's giving me. I know he's trying to give me the actual name of the ship. And again, I feel it begins with a T as well. A T, the T, the name of the ship. And okay. Again, I'm feeling I've got comments on it. I haven't even looked.
It's this one, mate.
Mechanic. Okay, who is that? Because Christine Gaynor. My dad was a mechanic and would you understand the naval connection he's trying to give me as well, Christine? Okay. I'm just going to keep going. If you understand this, please
going, mate.
I'm just going to keep going. I know this gentleman, again, he would have loved his newspaper. He would have soaked up a lot of knowledge. He was very intelligent gentleman. Again, I keeps giving me the M connection as well. Army. I don't know who that is. Christine. What? I can't take this away then. Would you understand a wooden plaque with a badge on a wooden plaque? It reminds me of the Navy. Would you understand that, Christine? There's a badge. There's a plate, a wooden plate with a badge on the plate. He's got that up, and I can see the crown. The crown, the queen, the crown. So I know it's to me, I thought that was Navy. Apologies if that's Army, but I know it's still here. I don't think so. I don't know then. Because I feel it's memorabilia. I do believe it's from his time in the military. I'm just going to keep going. Would you understand the M as well? Okay. It's a different, when they come in on different Facebook groups, it's really difficult to understand. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. Coat of arms. Thank you, Barry. That's what it is. Lee, sorry. Coat of arms. Absolutely. That's what it is. Absolutely. You keep showing me that. Also, okay. Also makes me aware of the green carpet in the house. There was a green carpet in the house. He's taking me into the house again. Because of his military background, I do believe everything was orderly in the house as well. He's also making me aware of him becoming very weak as well with the cancer. I know he would have tried to stay at home for as long as possible. Okay. And again, he's given me a thing about painting as well. I feel that the house has been painted recently. He's talking about, yes, the green carpet. Okay. There is some kind of memorabilia that talks about, if it's a regiment plaque, it's definitely there because I can't take it away, like Anthony said.
Yeah.
Christina, can you come in, please? Also, the initial A is trying to give me for a connection, the name he's trying to give me. I don't know why I feel disconnected with this a little bit. I want you to jump in if you can.
The A, is that for person?
The initial A is trying to give me the initial name of a person. Yeah, connecting here. I do believe they're still here as well. I'm just going to keep going as well because we're running out of time. But if you can come in, Christine, that would be brilliant. So difficult when... Yeah, absolutely. Would you understand the house is very peaceful, very quiet? High. Okay. Yes. No, it's not there. Okay. Yeah, we rely on your feedback. Okay, Christine, can you tell us if you're coming in or not? If not, I'm going to close this down because this gentleman just wants to come through.
In her 90.
I'm in my 90. Oh, I'm so sorry. Again, if you wanted to come in off screen, so it didn't click on your camera, we wouldn't mind. We wouldn't mind. Okay, this gentleman just wants to come in and be acknowledged. He doesn't want to. Again, he came in and very much. There's another lady with him. I know he was close to his mother because he's making me aware of his mum in spirit as well. Okay. Also, I'm not sure if it's the Doreen as well that he's trying to give me. The Dorothy or the Doreen he's trying to give me. Okay, and he's also making me aware of somebody who had the stroke as well. There was a stroke. So I still can't see if she's. Yeah, it's really my end always seems to slow down. The messages just seem to stop.
It is stopped my end too.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think they're still thinking.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's a block because it's coming through on the group chat. But I'm going to leave his love for you then, Christine. No, it's not coming through. I'm going to leave his love with you. I know there's so much more as well. He's talking about you working too much at the moment. He's making me aware of you just needing to take time, put your feet up as well. And again, it's not coming through. Okay, I'm just going to close it down. I'm going to leave his love with you. Yeah, still nothing at all.
Nothing's coming through.
No, it's not. It's not happening. All right, Christine, thank you for working with me. We might have a block. But so, mate, this time next week, we are back.
We are.
Next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We've also, I can take Dora, Alec, and Stroke.
Stephen.
Dora, Alec, and Stroke. Yeah, but Stephen, the only thing with that is, can you take the military connection as well? Because he is showing me the plaque. There's some kind of insignia.
And the carpet.
Yeah, and the carpet, the green carpet in the house, and the house just being generally really tidy, and he's into mechanics as well. He's into his mechanics. He's showing me the Haynes manual for certain cars as well. He would he put his hand literally to everything. Okay. He's also making me aware of someone burning the carpet by mistake. Somebody burnt the carpet. Okay. Brilliant, even. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. You understand the burning of the carpet? Okay.
Still going.
Okay. We'll just. Okay. Did you want to come in, Stephen? We'll wait. If you do want to come in, that will be brilliant. Okay. I know his granddad as well. He's making me aware his dad and granddad. New carpet
and was welder.
No. Can't take. Well, okay. Only if he used to fix cars, because he kept giving me an interest in fixing cars. You can tell me he welded them up now. Again, the military experience is really important. Thank you. I'm great. Awesome. Okay. And worked in a cat factory. What does that mean? Cat factory.
Does that mean car, Stephen, rather than cat? Is that a typo?
Car
factory.
Yeah, possibly. Okay, but again, the military experience. I don't need to know the military experience because I know there's some kind of. He did. Okay.
So it's a car factory.
He did. Okay. Did you want to come in, Stephen? Did you want to come in and take this message? Royal Scots. Beautiful. Okay. And there's would you understand there being some kind of insignia? It is a car factory. Okay.
Yeah.
An insignia, because he kept showing me his car manuals. And I know okay. That would make sense why he knew cars inside out. I also feel that he would have known a lot of older cars. He would have known a lot of knowledge from older cars as well. Okay. Would you understand a problem with one of his hands, Stephen, towards the end of his life? I want to say one of his fingers on his left hand. Would you understand that? Yes, I have just come in. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, okay. Would you understand a cancer condition as well? There's somebody around him with a cancer condition. I've got a lady with him that he comes with. I know he's with his mum because I can feel her. Okay. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna have to leave you love with you, Stephen. I'll give you a bit more. Just message me, and I'll give you a little bit more of his contact. Okay. We've overrun by about 5 minutes already. I didn't know him. Oh, interesting. Okay. Didn't know him. Okay. Okay. I'll leave his love with you anyway. Okay. But I know. See, it makes me aware he was a father figure and a grandfather figure.
Lots of yeses, Paul.
Yeah. I'm not sure why didn't know him. This is why we can jump out of it. We can jump out of the flow if we don't understand the message.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
thank you for working with me and for Christine as well. And we will see you this time next week, won't we, mate?
Thank you, Rhonda. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Rhonda. And another great guest.
And who's next week, Paul?
Do you know what? I knew he was going to ask me that. Do you know what? Carol, this is why I need Carol to come and tell us. So Carol will probably tell us. You can tell us in the comments, Carol, if you're listening.
Yeah, go for it, Carol.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen.
He was with me today. Oh, that's interesting. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, Stephen. All right, guys.
All right.
We will see you this time next week. Take care, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Bye. Bye.